two of me teaching him, he cashed his first tournament, made his first final tournament and everything cashed.
Okay. All right. We're live, so we will, unless you want the world to know about your business and endeavors, if you
No,
want them to know about your business,
that's it. That's it.
I would refrain from talking any further about your idea. But it is episode number 3 of All In Society and Friends. I am Claude. This is Stephan, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Minutes for everybody to trickle in. If you don't watch during this live taping, it will be available on Facebook here, where you're probably watching now, or on YouTube on my YouTube page. So make sure you check out either on Facebook or you check out here on YouTube. You'll be able to see all the other interviews and shows that we do on Tuesday as well. This will probably be whether it's with Stefan. I'll be on here every week, but every Tuesday we'll have a live show and we'll basically break down all of the NFL games. I have basically everything written down, which I feel are all relevant stats for every game as far as fantasy football goes. But let's dive into that now. We'll have some other topics, but we'll just hit into that now. So what? Well, first, how many fantasy football leagues are you in this year?
One, two, three, three.
They
I'm in
all
three this year.
they're season longs or they best ball leagues?
Oh, season long. I don't
Okay.
do that best. All season long.
All right.
I won. I won. I'm 1-2 or 2-1. Oh, what's that? I won. 1-1. 2-1. I lost one. For the week so far. Yeah.
Okay. Who was your? Oh, well. First question: are they on ESPN or Yahoo? Where are they on?
Uh, two is on ESPN. One is on Sleeper. No,
Sleep.
actually, I'm on four. I'm on four leagues. I'm sorry. I have two teams on Sleeper and two teams on ESPN.
Okay. Sleeper is a. I like the app. I used it not last year. I think the year before last. It was a pretty good
I
app.
like. I like how they do their draft room. I like that. But otherwise, I think I like ESPN better. But the way they do their draft is pretty cool. I like
Well,
how Sleeper do their draft.
what do you mean? What was the difference between ESPN and
The, wa- the way
like the
the
interface?
draft order. Yeah, so just the whole room, the whole the look of it and the order of it is like it like goes. It's almost like a tic tac, well, not tic tac toe. It's basically how can I explain it? It basically is like it's one, two, three. It's like a row, and then it goes down. It's I just like the way they do it.
It's not
Much
a.
better than
It's a. It's a sounds like a snake draft. Just the way that they
and
display.
yeah, the way they display it is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's a snake draft, but it's the way they do it.
Okay. All right.
And basically you have the same spot every round, but the way they snake it is when you're in the way direction with the last spot always gets the next round picks again. Then when it gets to the other side, it gets the same spot. So it's like it's pretty cool.
Okay. All right. All right. Oh, my mother is texting me. Um,
Gotta answer the mama.
she's just checking on me. Um,
Oh, that's so sweet.
hopefully everything because last time I know there was a little bit of a echo. So hopefully I got that. I used the echo cancellation, so hopefully we got that figured out this time around. I haven't looked, so I'm just kind of gambling this time. But yeah, I like Sleeper app. I don't remember any issues with it. I think there's some other additional features as far as maybe like the waiver wivers that you could maybe customize a little bit more than you would on the ESPN app, but I don't remember. I prefer the best ball leagues. I did them on DraftKings, so that way I don't want to be worried about getting up early doing waivers. I don't care about figuring out all the 32 teams, which player, what is the depth chart? All right, this running back went down. Who's the next one's going to get the carries? I don't got time for that. And
Mhm.
watch the app, or excuse me, you can watch the shows on ESPN and follow certain people. that'll help you pretty much move the waiver wires and everything by yourself. It's just something I don't enjoy doing. I don't like that aspect of
So
it.
so that's a week to week. Every week your team is different, and you win money every week basically.
No, well, that's for daily fantasy, but for best ball, it's the season long. But you draft a really deep team. So say you draft 12 players, and the best ball you draft, I'll just say throw out a number 24. You draft double the roster, but you draft
Hmm.
accordingly to having deep bench. For if running back one goes down, then your running back two is going to fall in line and be your RB1. And so you want to have
Hmm.
a draft, and you have to draft a great, long, deep draft instead of just drafting your first, 10, 12 players, and that's all that really matters because you can swap them out or you can trade them and stuff. I also don't like season-long drafts because it's a lot of collusion and just shady stuff that goes on, especially when it's people that know each other. They'll make you should never, and then this might go down in the real league. Well, actually, not at this, but I've heard people, all right, I'm going to draft nothing but wide receivers, and you draft nothing but running backs, and then we'll trade after the fact. No, that's not how a draft should go down. You shouldn't be working with other people to draft your team and back with one another. I don't like that. So I like the best ball drafts, and that way there's no trades, there's no waiver wires. It's whoever drafted the best team, the deepest team, is typically
Hmm.
teams are going to come out ahead. And so here, I'll give you the breakdown of the contest a little bit more. And so this one, it's $1 million guaranteed for first place. And so it's a 12 man league, and I should screen share this, but I don't have it up here. No, I don't feel like doing that. I've already talked about this before, so it's not a big deal. So you have a 12-man league, and first and second place in that league move on to round two. And then round two, you have to win that 12-man league. And then round three, you have to win that 12-man league. And then round four is the conclusion. And then however you place, first place, like I said, is $1 million. Say like there'll be 1,000 places, and you'll get points like a tournament. You cash in a tournament at that point
Hmm.
based on what your score is. And so you just draft one team, and it's kind of like set it and forget it, and it's going to pull your best scoring players for each position. So it's the same thing like season long: one running back, one quarterback, two running backs, three wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. You can't use a quarterback in the flex though. It's your running back, wide receiver, or tight end. So
Gotcha.
a little bit. It's a lot easier, and I like the draft portion of the fantasy football. This is my favorite part of the whole thing is actually drafting. So it allows you to draft a lot of teams for cheap. So that's
Next year you should do an all in society fantasy league.
I probably will, and then we'll have a mix of like poker players and other folks.
Yeah,
I've been on my grind this past week. The video that I don't know if you had a chance to check it out with Derek.
yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, so with that, I've gotten a lot of views and a lot of people reached out and interested. Helping with their own personal business, kind of marketing for that, and amongst other things. So it's starting to take off. So I'm excited about that. But let's instead of talking about the draft, let's get into the games, and we'll talk about the stats and if there's anything that any X's and O's or anything that you saw in the game. I was playing cards during on Sunday, so I didn't get a chance to really like watch the games like I wanted to. But
What
we'll
you playing at?
at MGM. I played the 777 tournament. Didn't do any good. Yeah, I'll just tell you a story. So I didn't get there as early as I liked. That was a tournament I kind of wanted to get there from the jump and play in the
Hmm.
early stages, but I didn't get there till maybe late. You got a visitor. I didn't get into like the late stages of the no, excuse me. I didn't get into late level two, start of level three, which is plenty. I had 100 bigs, plenty, but I wanted to get in earlier and really mix it up with like a 200 big blind stack. But anyways, got
Hmm.
in there. I had table 28 seat one, so I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be here for a while. as long
I
as
love that table.
right. So
I have a 90% win rate when I have that table. I always went to the final table
yeah, so
at
I
that
was at
time.
the table with a couple people are familiar. Val, he's a Omaha player, but I know he plays bigger tournaments.
Raul's good.
He
Raul's good.
Houston Media left. Uh, Seat three is a black guy I've never seen before. Seat four, younger guy, nobody be scared of. Seat five was a older guy. He probably plays at MGM or Maryland Live tournaments these size buy-ins and fields probably pretty regularly. Next up was Jane, and she was so this is the first time I really like sat down and actually got the chance to play her. She plays pretty
Mm-hmm.
like aggressive and I wouldn't say reckless. I don't think she's reckless, but
The Jane, the lady with the blonde hair.
huh?
The older lady with the blonde hair.
Yeah, she's the author. She's the author. And has all the
Mhm.
books. Yeah, yeah. So she got money. She's got a resume. She plays cards for a living. She knows what she's doing, pretty much. Um, I thought she was kind of like tight, and then I started seeing some of the hands that she was opening with, and like and turning over. It was like, oh, so I probably shouldn't have folded you that hand. So it was interesting to kind of watch her play. And then some couple other players ended up coming over to the table and ended up busting out. But long story short, I'll go over one hand. It was ridiculous. But all in pre-flop, and the guys that are in seat seven have everybody covered. Seat eight, they both came over with like 50 big blinds plus. And somehow seat eight, he was the last person to get all his chips in pre-flop. Pre-flop with ace 10 suited after he has an all in front of him. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, yeah,
What did you
50
have?
big blinds. This is it's 61 players in this tournament. We're just as the
Yeah.
level start 11. This was level 9, so registration is closed. So gambling portion should be over. It's like, what are y'all
So,
like? What are you
so
doing?
you was, so you was on the button first to act. You said you was first to
I
act.
wasn't in this hand. I wasn't in. I don't even remember what
Oh,
the action was. I just remember that it was a all in, a call, and then another person goes all in as well,
so
and that
what
person
was the
has
hands?
30 big blinds plus, well over 30 big blinds plus. At
What
this
was the hands?
ace 10 suited, ace jack, ace queen, and ace queen held. It was like what?
How do you know? I looked at it on Bravo and I seen there was a lot of people that turned. I said, man,
No, it was a lot of
I
people.
wish I
They hit
could.
the guarantee, but it was the first week, and that Run Good series was going on, so there was too much
It
going
wasn't a
on.
lot of people. Yeah.
And then next, I think this weekend or the next weekend there will be that $600 multi-flight 500K guarantee, so that'll be another good time to go play that. I
Why
probably
did they?
won't.
Why did they come with a 777 tournament? Where did they come with this stuff?
So I told you, Adam doesn't. Well, I should be careful what I'm saying. Actually, I don't care. Adam, he copy and pastes pretty much what the win does. That's what it is. The win has like a tournament. They might not have a 777 buy-in, but they have these tournaments where you win like 40K in a day. It and like. It sounds kind of silly, but I'm telling you, like the payouts, the 61 players paid 9 spots. Ninth place was 1,700. So if you min cash, you win $1,000. Like that's the tournament I want to play, and you play and you win it. You play it one day. First place was like 12K, so it wasn't like huge for first place. And to be honest with you, that the six max was better. You just have to play triple, quadruple amount of players. The six max tournaments it's $300, $400 buy-ins, and first place is
Mm-hmm.
14K. But you have to beat out 150, 200 players. That's why I like this one. You only have to beat out like 50 players, and you're pretty much to the final table. I don't think they'll ever get 100 players for this tournament unless there's
That seven
absolutely
seven
nothing else
seven.
going on. Yeah, yeah, and they don't, and that's
They
the reason why
will.
they built it like this. They don't want a large field. It's perfect for a Sunday tournament. I think they're gonna make some folks mad that don't have the funds to play a $700 tournament consistently. I'm probably not going to play it consistently. Like I said, I will play it the weeks like Maryland Live has that 500K. If they run it that week too, that'll be the week that I play it because all of the big players
So
play at the 500K.
so So I remember when Adam was there and Daniel. Remember Daniel before Adam took over the poker director
Yeah.
before Adam, Daniel, the old man who retired.
I'm talking about Don Fix.
Don, yes,
Yeah.
Don and Adam used to have full control of what tournaments they scheduled. So they don't have so Pat don't have
Go ahead.
full
You
Pat
said
doesn't have Pat doesn't schedule the tournaments. Adam Boone schedules the tournaments.
I don't. I'm not going to speak on that. I'll just say a lot of what they
Yes, that's what
do
it sounds
is
like.
what Adam would like them to do.
I
If they
got you.
more creative control, then I'm sure they'll be doing a lot more than they are doing
Yeah,
now.
I'm about to say that was something tournament. I said no way Pat would schedule the tournament like this. So I knew something seemed fishy. Now I know why. That's crazy. Because I guess Adam and Don they used to run. Adam Don ran a perfect poker tournament. That's why everybody came and played.
But you can't.
And Adam
That
took
was pre-COVID, and that was a completely different time for the poker
you're
room.
right.
I
You're
wouldn't.
right. Yeah, man, yeah, MGM was the best in the DMV during that time. DMV, I used to love coming to MGM. I never went to Maryland because MGM had the best tournament, the best atmosphere. And I guess he's ever since Don, then Adam is going, and it's like ever since then I mean, after COVID, it just seemed like MGM just don't care enough about poker tournaments no more. That sucks though. It's a lot of people don't like coming to MGM just because the tournaments are not good as they used to be, and it's like they don't care about the poker tournament players no more. That's
Mm.
why Maryland Live do so good right now.
I mean, Maryland Live's doing well for multiple reasons. I think customer service.
Oh,
I enjoy
yeah,
just they just execute better there.
yeah, yeah. They
They
got one. They got
overwhelm.
one of the best like literally, they got one of the best tournament directors on the East Coast. I was in Tampa, Florida, playing months ago, and they was talking about Chris McCall down in Tampa, like being one of the best. They was talking about some of the best poker rooms people been to. Like 3 or 4 people said Maryland Live in Maryland was one of the best. Got the best on the East Coast. I said, hey, I played it all the time. They're like, oh, you do? They said, you know Chris? I said, yeah, I know Chris. So yeah, I said, yeah, you're right. He is one of the best. And I've been this past year. I've been everywhere from Cincinnati all the way down to freaking Miami playing poker tournaments. So I've been to a lot, and by far, Chris runs the best poker room hands down.
Yeah, he does a good job. I haven't heard. I mean, I haven't witnessed anything. There's little things that I get a little perturbed about. Like they'll have a multi-flight event, and then they won't they won't pull players from other tables. They'll just say everybody, all the players together. I absolutely hate that. You should
Oh, what player?
play. So say we came in. So that six max tournament I played last, and I late reg. We all sat. All of the players that registered late at the same time all sat together.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
what be doing is
yeah.
be putting random seats from all the other tables. Because some of those stacks might have healthy stacks. I should not be all at the same table with all people with starting stack when there's other players been playing for a couple hours. They might have
I got you.
that. But
I
for
got
the
you. I
most
understand
part,
that.
though, I mean, if you're a player who doesn't want to play with those big stacks because the big stacks come over and just take advantage of you, you could look at it that way too. But I want to have the opportunity to win them all the chips, not be handicapped. Like,
Yes, I
uh,
agree.
yeah, maybe that's not the correct way to look at it, but that's just how mind works. I think that's how it should work. Um,
I agree.
but like I said, I could be wrong. But I know we kind of buried the lead a little bit. Oh, and I'll tell you about my bust hand real quick. So I queens in the big blind. I believe the blinds were probably like 5,000 or 1,000, 2,000 at the time. Probably 500, 1,000. I think I just tripled up. So I had probably at least 25 big blinds minimum. I don't think I went
Hmm.
short. Um, I mean, 25 is not great, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's an open. there's two calls, and then there's a lady that just came to the table. You know who she is. I just don't know her name. I think her name might be Maria, Marsha, or something like that. She has over 30.
Mhm.
She just rips it all in. And I'm like, well, that's never a real hand. This is before I even looked at my hand. Like, I'm
Mhm.
click to 2x open, two calls, and then you just want to rip like all these five big blinds. I'm gonna eat them up. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna get them five big blinds. Yeah, you about to get your feelings hurt because I look down, I have queens, I snap gall in, and then the original razor had kings. So mops us all up. So and then there's a king on the flop. I'm not. There's no way I'm playing it. I'm not getting away from this. I'm getting my chips all in to see all five cards with the stack
How
that
many
I.
people left?
There may be like 30 something left. This is right after registration closed, so there wasn't a lot of people. Um,
Mm.
I should say there was maybe half the field left.
Was
So,
there was that player who had the king, was he a tie player or?
no, like I said, I think he knew what he was doing. There's a couple of hands that I had small pairs out of position and started to three bet to try to take it down, and he got called, and then I had to try to play post flop, and that's never fun when like a pair of sevens and it's a jack high flop, and then you continue, and then they call, and then any card that comes on the turn, you're not comfortable unless it's your pair. So a couple
Right.
of spots like that. So it kind of it is what it is. I don't think I played bad. I don't think as much I could have done with the hands that I had and how I decided to play them. So it is what it is. I'll play it another time. Uh, but August was good for me. September has been a little bit more difficult. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, diving in, let's hit up the NFL. Um, Recap. I'm going to start with the Thursday night game. So we'll start with the Lions versus Chiefs. Lions came into Kansas City, beat the Kansas City Chiefs
He
first
said
night.
that probably.
Yep. Said that proudly. Beat them first night, opening night on the road. This is like a Super Bowl for the Lions fan. I even shed. No, I did not cry. I did not cry. I did, but I do want to hit on this, and I keep putting this off, but I do want to hit on this. I pretty much did cry because I watched Coco Golf win the U.S. Open. Did you watch that? Do you watch U.S. Open?
I only watch open when I only watch tennis when Serena and
Well, the
Venus play.
expectation is
But
here. You
now
start watching for Coco.
Coco is not gonna be better than Serena, so I'm not.
She all right, all right. It would be very difficult for her to do that. She's already a couple years behind, I think, from when Serena won her first. But
Yep.
the girl, it's not because the girl's not capable. I'll say that.
But I would support. I heard of her. I seen her a couple of times, and I'll support her just because she's you know what. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch her.
yeah, yeah. It was just fun to watch her, a young woman like that. Um, because I get jealous because we can play cards, right, and we can
Hmm.
give it our all, but at the end of the day, um, luck is going to be either with us or against us. But for tennis or for NFL, basketball, soccer, whatever the case may be, if you just dig in, right, and you just give that little extra effort more than you are accustomed to, that could be enough to take you over the edge and win. And I think
Hmm.
that's what she did. She had beat the girl before multiple times, even though the girl she beat is now the number one women's tennis player in the world. Even after losing to Coco, she's the number one player. So it's a bad girl that she beat. But she kind of mentioned like taking it to the next level, not being on social media, zoning everybody out, and just really digging in. Kind of like when you hear LeBron talking about he goes into that zero dark or whatever he calls it mode when he was in the playoffs and they wanted to win those championships. He didn't go on social media. He blacked out all the BS, all the noise, and just like zero in and just get the job done. It would be nice to think that we can just play cards and if we play our hands the best that we're going to win if we put our money in good and don't gamble. Unfortunately, that's not the game that we play. You got to gamble a little bit and you got to get lucky sometimes,
Some
or
some people gamble and use luck way more than they should, and just 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 lucky. They use luck in gambling, and that's how they win. And I hate it. I hate it so bad.
Yeah,
My watching that, like I know I have skill more than most of the people I'm playing the tournament with, and it just the people that gets lucky and used to burn me up all the time.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just hate it.
Especially when you get deep in the tournament, because there's not sometimes it's not often you get those deep runs. And I remember plenty of tournaments that I played, and it's like, A, I played bad. Like, why did I do that? And then B, the ones where you get your money in so good, but they hit those one or two outers, and if you win that pot, you have 100 big blinds deep in the tournament, and
And
you're
you're closer to the final table.
exactly. So those suck. But yeah, it was awesome to watch her win. She went after she won. She went into the stands and embraced her father. She said that was the first time her father she had seen her father cry. So that was kind of a moment seeing her family and all of her team, surrounding her. That was cool to see that. Again, because the parallels for poker, a lot of times it's just us by ourselves. Now, sometimes you have people that are, your colleagues or if you got a small group of friends that you play cards with, they're your support group. But it's poker's the individual
Hmm.
game. You don't really. I mean, if you're at the cream of your crop, the top of the top, maybe you have like a team of people that help you, be a better poker player. But it's an individual sport, so I like that. I don't know. I just like to see that type of stuff. That resonates with me, and I get a little.
So so we got to make a pact when we go to the World Series next year, and we on each other row. We got to and we do good. We got to run. We got to run in the crowd. We got to hug and we got to cry.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Shit, shoot, I'll be crying. Yeah, I will make a final table of World Series poker event. That would be one heck of a moment. But
I ain't gonna cry, but I'll
I,
be excited.
I be just the joy,
You're just a softie.
tears of happiness. I'm very
I'm not.
I'm
You're
very
softie.
in
You look soft.
I because I'm in touch with my emotions. I think a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
touch on my emotion too, but
people
I ain't gonna. I want a big event, and I'm on TV. I ain't gonna cry in front of everybody. I'm gonna wait till I get behind closed door and hug everybody and cry.
I would probably, yeah, the emotions of it all I would just let loose because I'm a
You
emotional.
probably you probably do one of those I lost my best friend cry.
My what? My what?
You lost it. You know them cries, the real deep cries where you lose your breath. You know when you can't you get beat and you can't breathe.
I don't think I have shed tears, but I don't remember crying like that. Would be something devastating for that to happen. I've had some nasty cries like that in the past 5 years.
Me too.
Like at the wits end, like I'm tired of this shit. Something has to change.
Mm.
Like kind of like you look into yourself in the mirror and be like, bro, you ain't shit. Oh God, you ain't nothing. You ain't stuff. You need to get it together and kind of get that like ugly cry out and just kind of like shake it off and like, all right, let's move forward.
I never look in the mirror and tell myself that. Every day I wake up, I look in the mirror like, God damn, you fine. God, good Lord.
Sometimes you got to be honest and you got to be like, you need to step your
That's being honest. I look good. What you talking about?
game. Not. Oh yeah. All right. So hopefully, no more me swearing. Even though I told you this is a G-rated show.
I know, right? I'm usually the one cussing. You the one cussing today.
All right. Well, as I said, burying the lead. We're 29 minutes in. We were supposed to talk about the NFL, and we
I
fell.
know. We barely talked about it. That's a
All
dark
right. But no, I want this to be a show where, because I mean, you watch NFL Today and all these other shows, right? And they'll give you the stats and they'll find creative ways to go about it. But I don't want to. I want to find my own niche. I want to be honest. Like, if you think these guys are bums and they don't deserve to have the ball thrown at them, like say what's on your mind. Whether that's right or wrong, they're gonna prove us wrong. I mean, we're not out in the field playing and getting hit and catching balls and running through people. So I'm just a observer, and I'm just gonna speak what I observe. I am not. Neither one of us, I believe, are experts in football. So do not take us too
I
seriously.
used to play. I used to play, so I am an expert.
Did you?
So
You have more knowledge than I do, so that's why I say you maybe just can discuss the X's and O's more so than I can. I'm just gonna look at the stats of what happened and decipher whether I think this is something that's going to be a trend or something that was just kind of like a one-off and not something you should be relying on going forward, especially for your fantasy teams. All right, so like I said, 21-20, Lions beat the Chiefs. They came in on the road. Some of the notables. David Montgomery, running back for Detroit, he had 21 carries, 74 yards, and one touchdown. Amon
Gibbs,
Ross, what's that?
Gibbs did horrible. I had Gibbs in my fantasy, and I started him, and he did horrible. Oh my god, I lost a game because of that running back. Yeah, why didn't y'all feed him the ball more? Like, what are
They
you
said
doing? I
they said they
drafted him
weren't
to
going to
be a
give the
number
ball
one
to.
running back.
They
Oh,
weren't
that
going
burned me up.
to ease him in. He's a rookie, so they're going to give him a little. But the
And
times he did get the ball, he looked like he had a lot of energy, and he was just a little bit away from breaking it.
I lost two FanDuel bets when I could have won $7 and $5,000
Well,
because they didn't feed him
all
like
right.
they supposed to.
Well, this is the type of stuff because I'm going to clap back for the players. You need to manage your team better. That's not his fault that you did
I
not.
hate
You need to
they
draft better and make better decisions because
no,
he
no, no, no. FanDuel, I put in a bet where he was supposed to have at least 60 or 70 rushing yards and like maybe 20 receiving yards.
20
And
receiving. That was your best bet. 60 rushing yards would have been difficult
I
against.
thought he was a starter. I thought they said he wasn't starting.
Now, my David Montgomery, what they think he's there's not too many bell cow running backs anymore. You got Christian McCaffrey, maybe Nick Chubb, uh,
Henry,
Derrick Henry. Yeah, the list
Saquon
is
Barkley,
who?
Saquon Barkley,
Yeah. He'll get open.
Austin from the Chargers.
He'll split some carries though, but he'll catch the ball enough to make it worth drafting him early. But no, yeah,
You got Travis Etienne in Jacksonville.
I like him. All right, but he'll
You got
probably
Hall. You got Hall out. You got Hall the Jets. There's plenty of good running backs out there who carry the load. But y'all just Gibbs. You Gibbs. I'm about to drop him. He getting traded off my fantasy. Like he's
after
going.
1 week. After
Yeah,
1 week.
yeah.
Oh, please! I would love to be in your league. But moving on, Amon Ross St. Brown, receiver for Detroit. He has 6 receptions for 71 yards, and he also had a touchdown. Um,
Yep.
so
I
he'll
had
probably,
him for going over 60 yards.
yeah, he'll be consistent for you. But yeah, like you're saying, David Montgomery and get there. It's going to be hard. I think David Montgomery is going to be more consistent because he'll probably get the goal line carries, right? Um,
I'm not paying y'all running backs on my FanDuel no more for the rest of the year. I don't care.
all right.
Give me Barry Sanders back in the day. He would have made me my money. Barry Sanders is my favorite running back ever.
We're not. Gibbs will be somebody that you want in the second half of the season, I think.
Second half,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a
I
rookie,
think he
man.
won.
He's got a small frame too. How many times do you think I'm gonna give him the ball? He can give him maybe like 10 touches to David Montgomery's 15 to 20.
I wish you would have told me that before
You got
Thursday night.
research. I'm pretty sure this was the same information I had was available for yourself, sir.
And then Patrick Mahomes, he did me dirty. Oh my God, he's supposed to have
21 for
over two.
39, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. What more did you expect him to do? You want him to throw for 500 yards?
Hey, he's supposed to have over 250. He cost me money too.
Why was he supposed to have over 250?
That's what Patrick Mahomes do.
That's true. That's true. You would expect him. But look at his without Kelsey, look at his wide receivers. Can you tell me his wide receivers without looking at the roster online?
Yes,
Who?
You got Ross, you got Rice, you got Scander. I mean, Mark, whatever that dude, man, Scander.
Yeah.
You got Tony. You have. I said Ross. I said Tony. I said Scander. I said Rice is the rookie.
Were any of these were any of them productive during their Super Bowl run last year?
No,
So that's what I don't. Will they get it together? Yes. I just think they're gonna, especially if they don't have Kelsey, they're gonna have a little rough time to start the season.
all right, let's move on to the next game. Making me depressed for all that money I missed.
Also, gamble responsibly, boys and ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Gamble
gamble responsibly.
responsibly. None of us can predict the future. Um, but I think the best that you are doing are good, as long as you're not parlaying them together and doing these massive bets.
No, I learned last year. I was doing 10 to 15, 17 euro, 17 parlays. This year I'm doing like 6 or 7, somewhere in between there.
Parlays caught up. I just think you should save your money for NBA season. Football, the
I'm
book.
a football. I'm a football player. I know NBA is not my thing.
The
Football is
bookies
me. I play
are
football.
too good. It's too close. Too close.
Don't
What
worry. I
we're
got. I
gonna
got.
do?
I got it this week. I'm going to hit this week.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start right next week. I'm gonna write down what the lines were, and then we're gonna look and see just how good the bookies are. We're gonna look. I'm gonna write down the lines before the whatever the line was before the game starts, and we're gonna look at
Hmm.
how close these lines are and how good these bookies are. And we'll
Okay.
all right. All right, so next game, Panthers at Falcons. Panthers lost 10-24. Hayden Hurst, tight end for Carolina, 5 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown. Tyler, now tell me if I'm saying his last name wrong. Is it Algier?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay. So running back for Atlanta, he had 15 carries, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Is he a rookie?
I'm not even sure. I don't.
Okay, maybe. All right. I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Obviously, I'm a big Falcons fan. And then
Me
Bijan
neither.
Robinson, he had 10 carries for 56 yards and then 6 receptions for 27 yards and a touchdown. So Atlanta's running backs were busy, productive, and about there wasn't too much other than fantasy production out of other than those players. It was kind of a boring game probably to watch.
I don't have none of those players.
Yeah, I have none of those players. I do have David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I have one league I did pick up Patrick Mahomes. Some reason I drafted him, I grabbed him a couple spots early, or he fell to me. It ticked me off. I either had the seventh, eighth, ninth, or 10th pick. I did 8 drafts. I should have at least a second or a third pick. Every one was 7 through 10. I was so mad. I should have probably done a couple more leagues. They were only $10 leagues, or no, they were
Um,
$20 leagues. These were $20 leagues, I think. Or I could be wrong. Whatever the case, not
I
important.
wanted. I was supposed to win a tournament a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to do Chris Moneymaker. Was it Chris Moneymaker? I think was it Chris Moneymaker? I seen he put on Twitter. He doing a $2,200 league. Was that Chris Moneymaker? I think it was Chris. I think it was Chris Moneymaker league. He was doing. He was going to do. They was doing. He was doing a $2,200 money league, and I wanted to get in that league would have been like $30,000 for first place.
Yeah, those are the ones I would be wary of. Not all the people that are in the league. Like I said, big leagues like that, probably running game and fantasy football is real shady. You got to be careful. At least from some of the people that I know in my past. A lot of them, they're just running leagues so they can just have your money sitting, and then it's time to pay out. They don't pay you your money in time. Like,
You,
nope, nope.
you from Detroit. Detroit people are shady, so I understand that.
Moving along. All right, Bengals and Browns game was atrocious.
Oh my
I actually,
God.
I thought the Bengals were going to come in and win. I picked this game as my pick for my podcast. This was embarrassing.
Yo,
The
I was
Bengals
so
3, Browns
I never
24.
yo, listen to this. I had Jefferson over 100 yards, Chase over 100 yards, Hill over 100 yards, AJ Brown over 100 yards, and somebody else, and everybody with 100 yards except for over Chase. It would have been $4,000. It was like six wide receivers for over 100 yards. They all needed to go over 100 yards, and they all went 100 yards except for Chase. I was like, oh my god, yo, it would have been $4,000 or $5,000, something like that. Yo, I was so freaking pissed, yo.
Yeah, there's
I
only
said, how do you wind up freaking top two in fantasy and only get 33 yards?
they held him in check. They was ready for that
Some,
game.
yeah, somebody told me Cleveland that he never do good to Cleveland. I said, man, what somebody would have told me, I would have picked somebody else. I would have probably picked St. Brown or somebody else. Oh, Devontae Adams. I had Devontae Adams over 75 yards.
Well, he didn't. He,
That's what it
he didn't
was.
have Aaron Rodgers throwing to the ball anymore. He had what Garoppolo throwing the ball now.
No, no, Devontae Adams got his yards I needed. It was just Chase. I'm sorry, Chase and AJ Brown. AJ Brown didn't get his yards either, so I
Yeah.
was pissed. My Eagle player let me down, but yeah, but Cleveland looked good. Deshaun Watson looked good.
hmm Yeah. Nick Chubb had
Nick,
running back. He
Nick
had
Chubb.
18 carries for 106 yards, and then Deshaun Watson, his first game back, quarterback for Cleveland. He was 16 for 29. Uh, I don't know what this is. I'm assuming this is 150 yards passing, one touchdown, one interception. I can't even read my own writing. That's terrible. Also had 5 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown as well. So he had a decent game and didn't
They won.
lose the game for him. It would have been very
Mhm.
difficult to lose that game the way that the Bengals were playing, though.
Yeah, I don't think for my fantasy, I don't think I had nobody on none of my teams from those two teams.
I
Oh,
got
I do got Nick Chubb. I had Nick Chubbs
yeah.
in one of my teams. I got Nick Chubbs in one of my teams.
Yeah. Next game, Jaguars at Colts. Jaguars won 31-21. They have a lot of fantasy production, so I'm going to run down the list and then I'll let you give your insight. So Travis Etienne, running back for Jacksonville, he had 18 carries for 77 yards, one touchdown. He also had 5 receptions for 27 yards. Calvin Ridley, 8 receptions for a wide receiver for Jacksonville, 8 receptions, 1 yards and a touchdown. Zay Jones, wide receiver for Jacksonville, 5 receptions, 55 yards, and 1 touchdown. And then the man behind who was orchestrating it all, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback for Jacksonville. He went 24 for 32, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. So it looks like he's picking up right where he was end of last season. He's playing well. He's going to probably even be better this season. They give him more weapons too. So Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville's coming. And then for Indy, Michael Pittman, he had 8 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown. And quarterback Anthony Richardson, QB for Indy, he was 24 for 37, 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and he also had 10 carries for 40 yards and also a touchdown as well. So that was a lot of fantasy production in that game.
Yeah, I have one of my fan duels. I had Anthony Richardson rushing for a touchdown. He's a good for everybody out there. If you need an anytime touchdown, Anthony Richardson is going to be good almost every week for anytime touchdown. He runs the ball. He runs the ball out the quarterback position.
Did you watch the game?
No,
Okay.
I was watching. I forgot what game was on. I was watching. So I think I was watching the Ravens game because
Okay.
I had a nice ticket for the Lamar and boys, and Odell Beckham didn't give me poop.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Next game, Buccaneers at Vikings. Buccaneers won 20-17. I was surprised at this one. I thought Vikings would win at home. But Mike Evans, wide receiver for Tampa Bay, 6 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. He is not washed. There's people saying that he was washed. So he's clearly still got production. We'll see if he can still do that second half of the season, though. Justin Jefferson, woo, wide
Got a
receiver for
monster.
Minnesota, 9 receptions, 150 yards, no touchdown. How you do? How do you have 150 yards and no touchdown? Come on, bro. Jordan Addison, wide receiver from Minnesota, he had a touchdown, 4 receptions for 61 yards. But yeah, with that type of production, I didn't watch the game, but I'm guessing Kirk Cousins gave the ball away, and Buccaneers won the game at the end of the game.
No, Baker Mayfield
Uh-huh.
made a last minute drive and sealed it.
Okay, okay.
But I'm telling you, next week I'm gonna have 5 wide receivers, and I'm gonna hit for 4 or 5 grand next week. I got my receivers. Justin Jeffries is one of them. Tyreek Hill is gonna be one of them, and AJ Brown is gonna have a bounce back. And I'm looking to do good this week coming up in my fan duel.
All right, all right. Next game, Titans at Saints. Saints won 16-15 in a close one. Here are the notables. Derrick Henry, running back for Tennessee, 15 carries for 63 yards. He also had 2 receptions for 56 yards. So it looks like he's getting more production on in the air, but his carries, he's slowing down. Maybe this is the year that he.
Yeah, he's number one. I had a couple running backs need to get over 100 yards. Derrick Henry was one of them, and he's freaking. They threw the ball to him instead of letting him run the ball. Run the ball, Tennessee! God dang it!
Chris Olave, maybe hopefully I said that right. Wide receiver for
That's
New
right.
Orleans, eight
Thanks.
receptions for 112 yards. He probably wasn't on your list for
I
100 yards.
should. That was my bad. I meant to pit him. I freaking went over. I went AJ Brown over him. So
Okay,
Chris Olave.
okay. And then also for New Orleans, Rashid Shaheed, wide receiver for New Orleans, 5 receptions, 89 yards, and he had a touchdown as well. Yeah.
The,
Uh,
David Carr pickup for the Saints is going to be big. Pay big dividends this year.
Super Bowl probably favorite coming out of the NFC, 49ers at Steelers. 49ers put a beating on them, 30-7. Christian McCaffrey, running back for San Francisco, 22 carries for 152 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. He also had 3 receptions for 17 yards. And then Brandon Ayuk. This is not something you can get from him consistently. It ain't gonna happen. But he had 8 receptions for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's gonna be a hit or miss, I bet you, every
Yeah,
week.
McCaffrey came through with me. I had him on anytime touchdown. McCaffrey's good for a touchdown every week. Almost every week he's good for a touchdown. You're receiving or rushing. Him and Austin Eckler is good for anytime touchdown almost every week.
Hmm. Yeah. Hopefully, I can continue to produce that way. I do have him on at least one of my fantasy teams.
Yeah, I got one of my fantasy teams. I got Austin Eckler and I got Nick Chubb's. McCaffrey was number one pick almost every draft. One or two. Him and Justin.
Okay. Cardinals, Commanders. Commanders won at home. New ownership, so I think everybody was expecting them to win, even though they were.
Yeah.
It didn't look like they wanted to win.
Yeah, no. They just barely beat the worst team in the league.
Right, right. Sam Howell, quarterback for Washington, 19 for 31, 202 yards, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. He also had 2 carries for 11 yards and a touchdown. Other than that, there wasn't really too much fantasy production out of either one of those teams. Yeah. Ravens beat the Texans at home 25-9. Nico Collins, wide receiver for Houston, he had 6 receptions for 80 yards. Lamar Jackson, kind of a quiet game, right? He didn't really have to do too much. Quarterback for Baltimore, 17 for 22, 169 yards, 1 pick. He also had 6 carries for 38 yards. Unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins, he'll be out for the season due to injury. He had 8 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown before he suffered his injury. And Zay Flowers, wide receiver for Baltimore, he had 9 receptions for 78 yards. Looks like he'll be a high flyer for Baltimore this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be a gold mine for stats and FanDuel. He's going to make me some money this year too.
Yeah. I don't know about Odell though. Yeah.
But I don't want. He totally messed me over. He had zero, or he had one or two catches. I needed him get like 50 yards, and he couldn't even get that. I mean, I was so mad.
Yeah. Maybe it just needs a little bit more time to
Well, he's not. He's never. I'm not picking him no more this year.
yeah yeah. Um, team that surprised me, Packers on the road at the Bears. I'm not surprised necessarily out of the outcome, but surprised by the quarterback play by
It
Jordan.
was awesome.
38-20 Packers. Jordan Love, 15 quarterback for Green Bay, 15 for 27, 245 yards, three touchdowns, no picks. Aaron Jones, he had a hell of a game. Running back for Green Bay, he had 9 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown on the ground, and then he also had 2 receptions for 86 yards and one touchdown.
hmm
So that
I think
was
he pulled his hamstring too.
he did what?
I think he pulled his hamstring too.
Oh man. Oh, hopefully he'll be back. Justin Fields, quarterback for Chicago, 24 for 37, 216 yards.
Man,
Air.
they had a weekly special for Justin Field to get 400 combined yards, and I took it for $20. Would have paid me like $700-800. The man didn't get 200 total yards. I was so mad, man.
Well,
God dang, come on, Justin.
a touchdown interception, and he had 9 carries for 59 yards. And then Darnell Mooney, wide receiver for Chicago, 4 receptions, 53 yards, and a touchdown. But Jordan Love, if he continue to play like this, make Detroit their winning the division not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Also, I have a bet. Let me pull it up. Let me put it up on my phone. And the odds, I know one of the odds are pretty juicy, but the other one is nothing crazy.
Don't ever say juicy like that again, Claude.
What?
The way
Don't
you said juicy, the way you just said juicy, don't do
whatever. All right, so they have
that.
Detroit Lions to score one rushing. This isn't against Green Bay Packers, but I'll tell you the other one. Detroit Lions to score one rushing touchdown in every regular season game. It's plus 6,000. So I put $12 on there to win $744. That's a pretty
Ooh,
good bet, ain't it?
yeah, that's pretty good. They
Yeah.
got they got that they got that one for every team. I was about to took the one for the Eagles. It was 3,001, I think, or something like that. Why you put $20 on that?
Because I probably didn't have $20 in my account at the time, or I spread it out. Because then I put there's a bet Detroit Lions to beat Green Bay. Now this one's like it's plus 150. This is just a fun bet. Detroit Lions to beat the Green Bay Packers on the road and at home in the regular season. So beat them both times that they play them. So that's plus 150. So I put a little
You
50.
should. You should. You should. You should win that one. Did you put the odds on Detroit to win the division?
Yeah. That nothing, but they're not giving you great odds for that. I think it was
No.
plus 145 before they played on Thursday, and then now it was plus 100. I think now it's like minus 100 now. They look
Yeah,
after
I put
cool.
I meant to bet Cleveland because I think Cleveland's gonna win the division. I meant to they had crazy odds for Cleveland to win the division, and I was so mad I ain't picked it because it looked like Cleveland gonna pull it off and win that division.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna move along to the Raiders at Broncos. Raiders won 17-16, so a close game. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver for Las Vegas. He had 9 receptions, 81 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson, quarterback for Denver, 27 for 34, 177 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns. He also had 1 carry for 1 yard. I'm not sure how I even added that on there. But Jimmy Garoppolo, quarterback for Las Vegas, he's 20 for 26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. So both quarterbacks did, I guess, all right for the most part. Russell Wilson needs to play better. He had 2 touchdowns. We also threw 2 touchdowns, no picks, but only 177 yards. So if he's going to need to do a little bit more for them to win those type of games, right?
Yeah, I think it was Raiders defense stopped them from driving.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, better defense won that game.
yeah. All right, so here's the game. I'm sure you'll have a lot to say about because they probably should have lost this game. Eagles on the road
No,
at
what you say?
I,
No, no, let's rewind that. What you just say?
Eagles at the Patriots,
You said
25
no, no,
20.
no, 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 no.
Should have
I heard
lost
what you
that
said.
game.
You said they should have what?
They should have lost that game.
What we do right now? I know this is your platform. This is your podcast. What we're not going to do is we got right now. I'm poking you in your forehead right now. You see that? I'm I'm poking you in your forehead. I hope you can feel it. Don't you ever disrespect my Eagles like that, Claude? Feel your forehead.
Were you confident after watching
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I knew we was gonna win.
That's not what I asked you.
We're good. We're good.
You all right? We'll go over this.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. As long as we win the close games, we're good. We're
All
good.
right.
It's the beginning of the season, and we still got some kinks to work out. We came out pretty healthy. Oh, a couple good things that happened. Fletcher Cox is not playing this Thursday, so uh, Carter and David's going to be playing D tackles together, and that's going to be crazy. He Carter was number one in pressure for a rookie in the past 8 years. He had the highest pressure rate in the last 8 years
Why did
for a
they?
rookie.
How
So,
did the Eagles get it? What was? How did they get him?
he got some trouble before the draft, and they fell to number 10 to the Eagles.
Wow.
He's supposed to be like one or
Wow.
two number pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. What are the stats?
As far as that game, I'll go to the stats.
Okay. Jalen Hurts, quarterback for Philly, 22 for 33, 170 yards, one interception. He also had 9 carries for 37 yards. A.J. Brown, wide receiver for Philly, 7 receptions, 79 yards. Devontae Smith, wide receiver for Philly, he had 7 receptions for 47 yards, and he had a touchdown. Um, Mac Jones. Why did I not put Jalen Hurts must have had 1 touchdown, 1 interception because I didn't put touchdowns in here. Mac Jones, quarterback for New England, he was 35 for 54, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. So they were honoring Tom Brady. Tom Brady was there. Tom Brady must have jumped inside of his body and was out there quarterbacking because I was not
Why is
expecting
that?
Mac Jones to
Why is
throw
it?
54
Why,
times.
why is that funny?
Because I didn't expect Mac Jones to do this against Philly's defense.
Well, you made it like it was funny, like
It is funny.
nothing.
It is funny. Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver for New England, 6 receptions, 64 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Hunter Henry, tight end for New England, 5 receptions, 56 yards, and 1 touchdown. So even with all those stats, all that being said, Philly was able
They
to win.
still lost.
I,
Yeah,
I said Philly was able to win the game.
yeah.
You thought
That's
I
all that
was
matters.
talking about the Patriots.
All right. Well, you ain't got to ram all them stats with all that enthusiasm behind it, like they really did something, like they won a damn game. So what? Stats don't mean nothing if you lose. Man, get on to the next game. I don't like this hostility against my birds.
Well, I'll just say NFC power rankings. I don't know if the Eagles are going to be at the top this week.
Oh,
Who?
no, we'll be number two. 49ers will be number one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We might be number three because Cobb. You gotta get to the next game. The Cowboys.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about them. Well, first, Dolphins Chargers. Now this game,
That was a hell of a game.
yes, Dolphins came in and beat the Chargers 36-34. And let me get a breath before I roll out all these stats. Whoo boy.
Yes, nothing but stats.
I will say I do have Tua on as my quarterback in multiple leagues. I think at least 2 of the leagues that I drafted.
I don't have it.
Austin Eckler, because like I said, I'd drafted 7 through 10, so he was literally there for like every single draft that I drafted
Yeah.
almost. So
I
I
got
had
him on one team.
2, and then I got some Justin Herbert. too. I thought he was going to be decent, at least for a backup. I don't think he's my number one, but I think I got him as a backup, like a two. But Tua, quarterback from Miami, he was 28 for 45, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver from Miami, 11 receptions, 215 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns. And probably these guys, the best wide receiver duo in probably the league. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver from Miami, 4 receptions, 78 yards. River Craycraft, where'd this dude come from? I need to
I
stop.
don't know.
Wide receiver from Miami, he had 3 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown. He's like the Wes Welker of the Dolphins. Austin Eckler, running back for the Chargers, 16 carries for 117 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 4 receptions for 47 yards. Joshua Kelly, running back for LA, 16 carries, 91 yards, and 1 touchdown. They ran out of the ball. That's a lot of yards on the ground from those two running backs. And Justin Herbert, quarterback for the Chargers, 23 for 33, 228 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 5 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. And Keenan Allen, wide receiver for the Chargers, he had 6 receptions for 76 yards.
I got one thing to say about that game.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell was the defense?
Right.
And even one of the team, even one of the teams had defense. Oh my God, it was like a field day.
Yeah, it was like playing flag football out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. All right, we're down to our last 3 games. Rams at Seahawks. I was impressed by Stafford this game. Rams beat Seahawks 30-13. Without Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Chargers, 24 for 38, 334 yards. I
You
believe,
said that wrong. You said that wrong. You said that wrong. You said quarterback for the Chargers.
or excuse me, quarterback for the Rams. Yes, I'm stuck in LA. Quarterback for the Rams, 24 for 38, 334 yards. 334 yards without Cooper Kupp. He threw the ball, or hold on, Kyron Williams, running back for the Rams, 15 carries, 52 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So they ran the ball well against the Seahawks. And then Tutu Atwell, wide receiver for the Rams, 6 receptions for 119 yards. And Puka Nakau, is that the pronouncing the correct name?
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so they're deep into the depth chart, or maybe they're number 2 or number 3. I don't know. But he had 10 receptions for 119 yards. So 2 people we don't even know who they were, but until I read the stats, had over 100 yards receiving from Matthew Stafford without Cooper Kupp being there. And then DK Metcalf, wide receiver for Seattle, he had 3 receptions for 47 yards and a touchdown. Moving along, unless you had something to add to that game.
Nope.
Yeah. Cowboys 40-0. Giants.
You can breeze through that game. Just breeze through that game. Nobody cares about no Cowboys.
Wasn't much to say. Tony Pollard, running back for Dallas, he had 14 carries, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I was impressed by that. I wasn't, but also they ran him over. So we'll see what Tony Pollard does against a formidable opponent, hopefully next week. Then CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver for Dallas, he had 4 receptions for 77. But nothing really to see there. Dallas defense was the fantasy, was all the fantasy production.
Oh, I did have Dallas defense one of my fantasies in my sleeper league, and they gave me like 40-something points.
Wow. Yeah, someone said 30 something. Wow. And then last night's game, Bills versus the Jets. Bills at the Jets. Jets won at home. I'm sure you've heard by now. Aaron Rodgers is believed to suffer the Achilles injury. Severity of the injury, I'm not sure at this point, at least the last time I saw.
He get torn ACL.
Oh, really? He out for the season then?
He's out for the season.
Okay, so maybe I know people have been joking about this. Do you think Tom Brady would be interested in playing for the Jets?
Man, he's not coming back. They're not picking up nobody. They're going with Zach Wilson. As long as Zach Wilson don't turn over the ball, they're gonna feed the running back. So if y'all have Bruce Hall, Bryce Hall in our fantasy, if you have, I don't know what I was about to say, but He's good for anytime touchdown on FanDuel every week from now on, and Devin Cook because they're going to run the ball 30, 40 times a week.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Um, so yeah, let's go over the stats for that. Stephan Diggs, wide receiver for Buffalo, 10 receptions, 102 yards, and a
You,
touchdown.
you, you, you can just say Stefan. Just say his first name. It sounds like I'm playing. I like to hear that. Just say his first name.
Brees Hall, wide receiver for New York, 10 carries, 127 yards. At one point,
Running
he
back.
had
He's a
that.
running back, not a wide receiver.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me, running back. That second, his second run, he had 2 carries for over 100 yards at one point. But that second
Yeah,
one, he broke it. If his boys would have blocked that one dude, he would have been able to walk into the
He
end
would.
zone. Like,
Yeah, he
come on,
did.
help a brother out, man.
Yeah,
That was
but
terrible.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Jets won that game because I know a couple Buffalo fans and they're so horrible. They think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league,
He
and Josh Allen he
he's not
he
good.
had he's been in the league for 5 years and he has the most turnovers. He has 84 turnovers in 5 years. Just
Like
ridiculous.
Brett Favre, like just like slinging that ball out there.
It's not even Brett Favre because Brett Favre can win.
More accurate too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely more accurate.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know who he's like, but that was terrible.
I call Josh Allen. He's like a plan B. He's no, not the plan B like plan B. I'm like
Oh,
plan B, like where you're like, oh my god, I gotta get rid of him.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I
Oh, okay. I thought you didn't get that. I got you.
mean. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that was not a good game. But yeah, Brees Hall, 10 carries for 127 yards, running back. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver for the Jets, 5 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Other than that, wasn't too much fantasy production.
He
But
killed me in my fan. I have him. I have Jefferson and I have Wilson in one of my fantasy. I won that game because of Jefferson, but Wilson didn't come through like he was supposed to. If Aaron Rodgers would have stayed, I think he would have got more production.
yeah, yeah, for sure, 100%, right? That sucks to
Yeah.
everybody was hyped. Obviously, all the New York fans were hyped to see what they could do with a real quarterback. They got a real team, a real defense.
Their defense is crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, so
Their
that's
defense is crazy.
that's pretty ridiculous. That what did Rodgers even get a chance to have a pass attempt? He was running for his life the whole the.
He was 1 for 4.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, 1 for 3 or something like that. But yeah,
But
that was crazy.
mhm.
Mm-mm-mm.
But yeah, that was all the games. We'll definitely do this next next Tuesday too, as long as you are available. One of these Tuesdays, the 26th, I will be out of town. If you wanted to go, if this is something you'd be interested in, I'm
I
going to
don't care.
I'm going to Philly
For
for
what?
for a conference. Um, is a guy I've been putting it on Facebook. It's called Wall Street Trapper, and he breaks down stocks. And so he has a lot.
I might want to ride with you. I'll go with you for that.
Yeah,
I like stocks.
he's got a live show, but you gotta there's a ticket. You pay for a ticket.
It's Philly. I don't got to pay for nothing, Philly. I know people.
You want
I
me?
probably know somebody who's run the whole venue or something.
I can't
I
remember.
got connections.
Hold on. Let me tell you. It's
I don't pay for nothing. Where's it at?
hold on. I'm about to tell you. Let me open this up. I want to tell you the wrong location. It's at Miller Theater. It says formerly
Oh yeah.
the Theater,
Florida is what?
formerly the Merriam or Miriam Theater.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna take you on the best Philly tea sticks you ever had. Watch.
I don't know if I've ever had one.
Oh well. Yeah.
But no, we went to Philly in 2018, 2019, maybe. And so it's been a minute since I've been there, but I enjoyed going. Parks, Parks tournaments. They started back tournaments, but they just started daily tournaments. They didn't do the good tournaments yet. So that was
Oh
encouraging.
wow!
Yeah, so I can't wait till they get and do like a real tournament again. But
I used to
hopefully,
love park tournaments.
yeah. Hopefully that's the
I
same
was
that are running.
I was just barely know how to play poker, and I was playing parks tournaments. And now that I really know how to play poker, I'm going to kill it.
Yeah, I used to love playing their tournaments.
Yeah. I used to wonder why people used to laugh at me when I used to play the tournaments at parks. Now I know why. Because I do the same thing to the people that they come in thinking they know how to play.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you have an iPhone?
No, I hate iPhones.
Oh Lord, well, this will be the part of the show where you could jump off if you choose.
I'm, I'm on Androids. Both of my phones are Androids.
Oh, well, Apple just had their well,
Yeah,
not
nobody care about that. I don't care.
they
Yeah,
had their event today. People
yeah, nobody
who
cares.
care.
Do
It was
you know?
called
Do
One
you do you
Plus.
know? Let me give you some stats about Apple. You know, every single thing about their phone, besides the shape of their phone, they copied it off of Android. Android had video phone calls first. They had video. I said video chat and video phone was the same thing. They had the watches first, cell phone watches first. They had the software that they used came from Android. Look it up. iPhones are like the little brother who always wants to be better than the big brother. I hate that. I don't
I
like
mean, not that,
followers.
but they still know what they're doing more so than
Y'all been buying the
Android
same.
does.
Y'all been buying the same phone for the past 20 years. The
Who,
same shape is a little bit bigger. Y'all buy the same exact phones, man. With Android, you can buy different kind of shaped phones. You can buy flip phones. You can buy fold phones. You can buy the. Oh, I was coming. I didn't want to hear. You can block every different kind of phone. You buy the same shaped phone every year. Y'all silly people buy the same iPhones every year after another. And y'all camera is horrible. God, just why do y'all? It's like y'all stuck in the matrix or something. Like, oh my god.
you don't really believe the camera's horrible, do you?
I mean, it's not horrible. It's not better than Androids.
I mean, I don't know. I don't use Android. I haven't seen Android
Next,
either.
next, next time I see you, we're gonna put our phones side by side, and I have the fold, so you're gonna see it way better.
Well, I don't
And
have
my phone,
phone.
huh?
I don't buy the most updated one either. So you probably do. You might have a. If your phone is more recent than mine, you might probably do have a better camera.
I mean, this phone is not. This is like a business phone, so I can even compare this. This is like almost like a Metro PCS or a Boost phone right here, but it's not. But I'm just saying, it's a low virus. It's still better than your iPhone.
So you say
Just let you know, man. You want to be you gotta be different, but you stuck in the matrix with the iPhone stuff.
if
I'm
you
just saying,
if you say so.
it's
I will
okay.
continue to buy Apple stock, and it will continue to make
I'm
sure.
not talking about stock. I'm talking about that phone you have.
I understand what you're saying. I will say I will continue to buy the stock, and I will continue to purchase their devices, especially the Vision Pro, because whatever you're talking about, that phone, the Vision Pro, is going to blow that little cell phone out the water. Eventually, we won't even have cell phones. We're going to be like have like glasses or something like that, or it'll be in the palm of our hands.
Sorry. Android already has cell phone glasses. FYI, just let you know.
That's, I'm sure they do.
Just let you know. Just let you know. Just let you know. You said eventually. No, Android already has one. You have glasses on where you can talk and everything. So I just want to let you know. Android's been out for like a year or two already. Just want to let you know. FYI.
I'm gonna
Before you say, before you get on here like, oh my god, iPhone has these new glasses. Nope, Android been did it.
I'm gonna
Just to let you know.
I'm gonna put you in a secret. Just because you're the first person to do it does not. Sometimes that's the worst thing you do. You don't want to be the first person because someone can learn exactly what you didn't do
Start
right.
being a leader. Start being a leader. Start being a leader.
All right.
You're right. The first person might not be the best or best vision of something, but it's authentic. It's original. It's like our ancestors. They were here. They set the path for us. Android set the path and laid the foundation for you to have a
A better phone.
quote unquote
Have a better
good
phone.
phone.
It's not just the phone, the device. It's everything. It's the services. It's everything about the iPhone.
Android did it first. Did it first. Did it better. It's still doing it better. Just want to let you know your followers.
All right. I mean, I'll be fine being a follower. The device does everything I need to do plus some.
Mine too. It's just a better vision of it. That's all.
All right. That's not here what I'm not here to argue that. But I'm here to relay the information that for those of you that are in the market for Apple products, there's a new next generation Series 9 Apple Watch that's going to be $399. Apple Watch Ultra 2, that's $799. That's for the folks that are like real serious, like outdoors people. People are going to be doing like underwater diving and stuff like that. That's what that's for. What that service is for. You're frozen.
Yeah, I was looking at got a message. Oh, this one you know you that you talking about underwater diving with the you talking about what is a watch or something?
Yeah, it's a watch.
Yeah, Samsung has that. Android has that had that about 2 3 years ago. Just want to let you know.
It's not new. I'm just telling you what the device does and why it's that much more
Yeah,
expensive.
the features already was been out. You act like when iPhone every time they come out with some new product, it's like, oh, this is the latest, biggest. No, it's not.
I haven't said anything of the sorts. All I'm doing is
You said new. You said new. You said new, and it's not new. It's been out. It's been a feature. I'm just wrong with you now.
that's not what I said, but okay. And then the iPhone 15 is going to be 799, and the iPhone 15 Plus 899. And then obviously the big thing that everyone cares about is those iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. The iPhone 15 Pro is 999, and then the Pro Max is going to be 1199. Everything's available for pre-order Friday and available in store September 22nd. There's some there's a couple of new things with the new phone, but nothing like crazy. Just the updated camera, faster chip, more efficient chip. There's a I think it was with the watch. Now this is one thing is new. You'll be able to, or I can't remember if it was the watch. Yeah, I think it was a watch. You'll be able to do like one of these and be able to control your watch. I believe some of the settings, and instead of like going and actually pushing down on it. So that'll be like a new feature. I think they call it. I can't remember what they call it. And then there's a new titanium design for the new iPro Pro Max versions. But yeah, nothing too crazy. I'm definitely not rushing out to buy a new phone. What I'm buying is next year is that Vision Pro because I think that they're going to. You're literally within the next couple of years, I'll be able to sit courtside in the basketball games or maybe even other sporting events at the comfort of my home. I don't know how much it's going to cost. It's probably not going to be cheap, but you'll be having the opportunity to put your that Vision Pro lens on and literally be courtside um, at home on your couch. So I think that'll be pretty good, pretty cool for sports and watching movies and stuff like that. What up?
You know they have something that like that already. They had that. I'm just wrong with you know.
Yeah, it's called Meta
Um,
Oculus, and it's not good.
I'm just saying, but the way you're saying is like in a couple of years they want to have some. You need to put an emphasis on like iPhone is coming out with this. The way you're saying is make like this is
Different
something that
iPhone
they created on
product,
their own.
a completely different
I
product,
mean,
and not.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Not
I
arguing whether
apologize.
they're the first person to do it or not. That's not what I'm here to do. I could care less if they're the first person to do it, because, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're the first person to do something. What matters if you're the one person that can get the correct margins and make the most money and make sure the product is working efficiently. And that's what Apple does above all, and that's literally why they're the biggest and the greatest company ever. So that's why I buy Apple products, because they are the biggest and their greatest company, and that there's pretty much no refuting that. They have a almost 3 trillion market cap. There's not even another company that's close to that outside of Microsoft. So Apple's not going anywhere. They got all the money in the world to literally put pretty much any other competitor out of business. Um, so they're going to remain at the top. Whether you choose to use their products or not, it's up to you. Um, some people don't like Apple products. Some people enjoy Android or other products. But I had went from LG phones, like the Razors and stuff like that. I maybe had like a Galaxy or an Android for a short amount of time, but then once I moved to Apple, I mean everything. Once you're in their ecosystem, it's hard to get out of it. And I haven't really found a reason why I
The
should. So
Matrix. The Matrix.
that's perfectly fine with me. The Matrix don't bother me, and also Android doesn't provide you a savings account that allows you to get 4.5% each year. So Apple's is one's doing that. Apple has an opportunity to to help you with a lot of things that Android can and cannot do. I still think Android's a good product. I just choose to use Apple for my cellular devices and laptops. But to each their own. I just wanted to make sure that I provide all the information for everybody. Definitely check out CNN or CNBC if you want to get a deep dive into what the details are for the Apple products. I'll probably even go down deeper into the podcast on tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, right? So I'll probably dive
Yeah.
deep into the podcast for Wednesday. Um, what each watch and each phone is supposed to offer. But other than that, we did the NFL recap. We talked about Coca. We talked about Apple a little bit. That's pretty much everything I wanted to knock out on the agenda. Anything else that you wanted to share?
I would like just to encourage the people out there to 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 get into poker. It's a good stream of income as long as you learn the proper foundation, man. We need more of I don't want to say us. Yes, I do want to say us. I want to say more of us out there in the community. Me and Claude are one of the few of the good, talented, strong brothers in the community, the poker community. We need y'all to come out there and and take more pride in poker. It's good money to be made in poker. Y'all can Google me and Claude Hindermob, and y'all gonna see some six figures of earnings in there, and y'all gonna be like, wow. And most of the time it's tax free. As long as you keep under a certain amount per winnings, you get tax free. So yeah,
No, you
that's
tax
all I
free
want to
or
say.
you just sold your business
Yeah, I
online.
know, right?
So there goes your.
By the time you blow up, they're gonna go look at these podcasts from the beginning. They ain't gonna care about us.
All right, all right. Right, well, we been on here for an hour 23 minutes, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for anybody who liked it. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. If you please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I
And
will.
like and share when you watch it. Like and share it too. Y'all gotta like and share. I see y'all. We get the views is getting up there. I don't see every view should have a share. So we need y'all to don't just watch it. Share it, people. Sharing is caring.
Yes, yes. Sharing is caring. So we'll pretty much do this every Every Tuesday, we'll recap whatever happened Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, and Thursday night as well. Probably have some more folks on here just to chime in and make it uh, more of a community. If you guys are on Facebook, I just saw my sister was chatting on here.
Uh-huh.
She was talking about Aaron Rodgers is done, and she said Barry. I think she was talking about Barry Sanders. I'll be mindful of the chats more going forward. But this is kind of just the beginning. Um, we'll start doing something every Tuesday, unless for some reason I'm out of town. I'll let you guys know ahead of time, a week ahead. But thank you for tuning in. This is it for All in Society and Friends, episode number 3. Have a wonderful evening.
Peace.